maybe there is some emergency in life, it cannot be avoided. That we cannot exclude totally. But in general, and what to speak of the slaughterhouse industry, which is a killing industry, a killing machinery, which turns both the killers and the eaters into cruel people without a heart, without a feeling for the animals and for their brothers. Because last not least, we should understand what gives life to somebody is the soul. And the soul is there in your human being, and the soul is there in the animal. As a matter of fact, animal means anima in Latin. That is, the translation is soul. So an animal is 100% soul, even by the very word of its name. So to say that animals have no soul means to not understand what is a soul. Now, an interesting point here is the sufferings which you give to others will come back to you. So if we have a slaughter industry which gives incredible pain to the animals, that pain will come back to us in the form of some kind of reaction, karmic reaction, that's called in India. In Christian language, it's as you sow, thou shalt reap. If you kill by the sword, you will die by the sword. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. So if we understand that our meat industry is going to give us great amount of sufferings, then we would easily come to the conclusion that we should try to avoid it as much as possible.
And what are the alternatives?
The alternatives is to eat what you can get without killing animals and fish as well. If you can grow your food, if you can eat the fruits, nuts, berries, if you have so much beautiful and tasty combinations of foods as is being taught in the Ayurveda science, for example, you see their food can be your medicine. Depends what nature you have. You can eat more fruits, more vegetables, more grains. There's the best combination, which is the best for you. You have to understand that vegetarian food can provide any kind of taste imaginable. Vegetarians do not have to eat meat to get a taste which otherwise they wouldn't get. No, they can reproduce any type of taste, and therefore when we talk about alternatives, it's not really the question of alternative, it's a question of the best, healthiest way to live. And the killing industry and killing animal is just a huge mistake. And nowadays, when we even have the scientific data which says that the environment is suffering extremely from it, then you can understand it is some kind of a slow suicide of the human race. That's why Albert Einstein said the greatest and the biggest chance of survival of the human race would be to turn to a vegetarian diet.
Can you expand a little bit more on the bad effects on the environment from the meat industry?
Well, practically everything what it does to the environment is bad. Number one, it is using up incredible amounts of land and water, which is not necessary if you feed the humans with grains and fruits. You don't need, maybe, I don't know exactly, but maybe 10% of the same land would be required to feed the humans if they wouldn't go through the feeding animals to get their flesh to eat. Then the amount of water which is being wasted in that meat industry is very high. It's also again some kind of percentage of almost 10% to 90. So we can understand that our planet is put in jeopardy by that. Then there is the methane, the gases, the ammoniac gases, which come from the bigger amounts of animal stools, which create sour rain. That goes into the air, it falls down on the lakes and forests. I mean, there's just environmental damage everywhere. And another big damage is created on the mind of those who eat meat, because they have a very aggressive mentality. They have a very unfriendly mentality towards the environment. And slaughterhouse industries, they, for example, they produce the leather industry, which is a very incredible contaminating industry, especially the way it's done today. Many rivers are totally devastated by leather industries. So you just can go on and on and on. Wherever the meat industry comes up, there's a great danger connected to it, and it would be much better to avoid it. You see, many of the elements of the meat industry, they can also be fulfilled by using the dead bodies of naturally died animals. So in one way or another, it is not prohibited to use the dead body if there is some good use for it. But the environment should be protected, number one, because some people make money by destroying the environment. This is a big mistake, because there's a cost involved which you don't see. The cost will be paid later by other people who did not have the benefit of it. Hidden costs, you can call that. And that should be avoided. Things should be just.
How is globalization affecting India? Because they have, I think, if you can explain, the way they produce food is different, no, from the Western countries. How is globalization affecting it?
Globalization is a bad business for the poor people. It's a bad business for the small business. It's a bad business for the farmers. Globalization is only beneficial to the huge chains, to the mega malls. And that's the purpose of it. That's why they have established rules, which makes it easy to expand with big capital banks, huge chains everywhere, and drive everybody else, simple people, into bankruptcy. Globalization has so many implications that it would take a major effort to cover upon them. And in regards to the animals, globalization is just increasing their pain and suffering. As far as people eating in India, the majority of India was purely vegetarian. They would not even eat onion and garlic, considering that also to be aphrodisiac, some influence which is not very desirable on the health. What to speak of meat, fish and eggs, they would avoid this completely.